Hello! Today I'm going to be talking about something very interesting. Again and again, I've had a lot of parents come to me to ask me questions along this line. Why do my teenagers hate me? Why do my adolescents hate me? Right? And when parents are asking me these questions, it's interesting because their children, their adolescents especially, are also asking me the same question. Why do my parents hate me? So parents feel that their teenagers and adolescents hate them. There's actually a difference between a teenager and an adolescent. And in our course, the difference is properly spelled out. So I will be using teenager and adolescent interchangeably in this video, but there's a clear-cut difference between a teenager and an adolescent. So parents will ask me, Tibo, why does my son hate me so much? And you'll find out that this son is also calling me saying, I don't get it. My dad just hates me. It's almost like he can't even stand me. And here I am, trying to console the parents, saying, no, your son does not hate you. I'm also consoling the son, no, son, your father does not hate you. And here are these two parties feeling that they are hated by each other, right? So I don't know if you've ever been on this, if you've ever experienced this, but this video is specifically to parents who feel that their teenagers hate them. Let me tell you what's going on. In our course, module 4, there's a portion there called Why Your Adolescents Act the Way They Do, right? In that particular module, you are taken on a journey into your adolescent's brain. You get to understand their physiology, their physiological makeup, their brain composition, and you get to understand how this thing affects their psychology, right? So, I'll give you a very simple example. When I was in senior secondary school 3, I think now it's called basic 9, I hope I am correct. When I was in SSS 3, my family had moved away from Lagos State into Ogun State, but I stayed back in my school in Ogun State. So my other siblings attended a school in Ogun State, but I stayed back in Lagos State, right? So I was always coming home on my own. My dad used to take me to school, but at some point he got tired, he got frustrated because that journey was not easy. Yeah. So there was a particular Friday. My uncle had gotten me a phone, but at the time I always forgot to charge my phone, so it was always mostly dead. And it was these Nokia phones. Nokia phones don't get, then they don't, their batteries don't run out easy, but I never charged my phone, so my phone was always turned off. So that particular Friday, we closed from school at about 2 p.m. I was at the bus garage at 4 p.m. Because I decided to stay back, hang out with friends, At 4 p.m. at the garage, there were no buses because there was standstill on the express road leading from Lagos into Ogun State. A major program was happening on that day, on that day. So nobody wanted to go into that kind of traffic. So here I was waiting for a bus. I couldn't reach out to anyone because I had a dead phone on me and nobody could reach out to me. Eventually we got a bus and we started this journey. Now, all of the money I had on me was the exact sum to pay my tea fare, and that was incredible because there was a surge in tea fare, in the transportation fare, but somehow I just had the exact amount. So I couldn't even buy water, I couldn't buy food, I couldn't buy anything, and I was an ulcer patient. If you understand how ulcer works, you know that I wasn't supposed to get hungry. So here I was in the bus, super hungry, having severe ulcer pains, thirsty, no extra money because I paid my fare, and at about past midnight I was still on the road. Nobody could get through to me and I couldn't get through to anyone else. They had called my school to confirm if I had left school, and the school had confirmed your daughter is no longer in our custody, right? So everybody started calling to find out where's S.T.O.P, right? I eventually got home at about past 1 a.m. And as soon as I pressed the bell, the first person to open the gate was my dad. As soon as he opened the gate, the first thing he said to me was, Are you okay? What's wrong with you? Why were you not reachable? And he began to lash out at me. Now, what was I expecting? I was expecting my family to be like, oh my God, how are you? How did you cope? Did you have money? Have you eaten? You know, I was expecting some sort of sympathy or empathy, but here I was with a very angry father. I literally was upset. I was mad at him. And I just concluded that this man thoroughly hates me. Now, if you listen to the first webinar, you'll understand my journey and the kind of relationship I had with my dad then. So, this particular incident further buttressed and consolidated the fact that this man hated me. It took me many years later to understand that what happened that day was not he being angry at me. It was he being so scared for my life, right? I didn't know that. As a teenager, I felt he hated me. I felt it was angry. Now, one of the things we do when we go to schools, because we visit schools a lot, one of the things we do when we go to schools to speak to the students, we show them this particular module 4 I'm speaking about. We show them we take them on a journey into their brains for them to understand certain things and to show them how vulnerable they are. We give them pictures. So you see us display different emotions and we ask them to identify these emotions. Extreme emotions are where we always get them. So when they see, say, extreme surprise, or they see super fear, you know, they see fear like dread, they interpret it as anger, right? So imagine what happened that particular night. My dad was dreadful. He was in fear. He was extremely scared. His daughter out there all alone. I interpreted it to mean anger, right? So when you feel your teenagers are hate you, sometimes it's because of a communication breakdown. And I'm sure by now you know that when I speak about communication, I do not only speak about verbal communication, I also speak about body language. I also speak about intonation, stress on words, you know. So when parents come out with a particular kind of emotion, sometimes your adolescents misinterpret that particular emotion and label it something else. So I concluded my dad hated me because I felt he didn't even care. He was angry, whereas he cared. He so cared that he was so scared. Do you get that? So when you feel your adolescent hates you, or you get the vibe that why are they hating on me? Why did they hate me? Go back and check, how exactly have you been communicating with them? Yeah? How exactly have you been passing messages across? There's something I typically say, and I think I mentioned it in the last video. It's that when you are upset, irrespective of how hard you try to control your voice, your physiology takes over. So, because there's adrenaline pumping and cortisol flowing, there's going to be a slight increase in your voice intonation, in your voice tone. Your voice is going to be slightly louder for some, you know, many tones louder, but the majority, your voice will be louder because your physiology, the shape, the structure of your body, of your vocal cords changes. It constricts and makes the voice coming out become slightly pitched. Your adolescents, they don't understand any of that. What they hear is, this man is shouting at me, this woman is shouting at me, and they respond in kind. So one of the things our course will do for you is to help you in bridging this gap, in ending this communication dissonance that you constantly have with your adolescent. So if you've not registered, I beg you, please register. And if you want to discuss with us on payment plans, we actually do have payment plans. So if you cannot handle the 20,000 naira at once, and it's just 20,000 naira till the end of July. After July, it becomes 50. So if you cannot handle the 20,000 naira right now, you can reach out to info@tsageantibog.com, or +2349054062808. Yeah, you can reach out to those two channels to find out how you can work out a payment plan that's suitable for you and for your course administrator and the course administrative team, right? So I actually do encourage you to please participate in it. It's time we end this communication dissonance between ourselves and our children. It's time we end it. It's time for you to understand, how else can I communicate with this person in order for them to understand that I love them. Yeah, we also do our bit. And if you want us to come to your children's school, you can also reach out to us. We go to schools, we go to religious organizations, to speak to parents, to speak to adolescents. If you want that, reach out to us. That's what we're here for. We're here for you. So reach out to us. Let's do what we do best. Yeah. So see you next time on Train Up Gist. Thank you for staying.